Ben Jones, the actor beloved for playing the good-natured mechanic Cooter Davenport on the Dukes of Hazzard, has died at the age of 84, and in the days since, it's his wife's own words that have offered the clearest picture of who he really was behind the character millions of fans grew up watching. Alma Viator shared the devastating news in an emotional Facebook post on Sunday, revealing that Jones passed away at home from a massive heart attack while settling into his favorite chair, waiting for the Atlanta Braves to take on the New York Yankees. It was a quiet, ordinary evening, the kind that made up so much of their life together, and it became the final one of a career that carried Jones from Hollywood soundstages all the way to the halls of Congress. Viator's tribute was raw and deeply personal. She wrote that she had lost the love of her life, describing him as someone who had lived an amazing, rich, full life and who loved and was loved by so many people. She closed her message simply, saying how much she loved him, a sentiment that captured in just a few lines the kind of devotion that only someone who truly knew him could express. The two had built a life together for decades, one that extended well beyond the fame that first brought them together. Jones landed the role that would define his public image in 1979, when Dukes of Hazzard creator Jai Waldron brought him onto the new CBS series after the two had worked together 4 years earlier on the film Moonrunners, a similarly themed comedy about bootleggers that served as something of a spiritual predecessor to the show. As Cooter, the scruffy, big-hearted mechanic who was always ready to help the Duke boys out of trouble, Jones appeared in 142 episodes across all 7 seasons, sharing the screen with Tom Wopat, John Schneider, Catherine Bach, Denver Pyle, and Sorrel Book. The show ran from January 1979 to February 1985 and became one of the defining hits of its era, turning its cast into household names and its orange Dodge Charger, the General Lee, into a lasting piece of pop culture. But Jones's story didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling in Hazzard County. Before landing the role of Cooter, he had already built a career as a working actor, appearing in films including Together for Days in 1972, The Bingo Long-Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings in 1976, Smokey and the Bandit in 1977, The Lincoln Conspiracy in 1977, and They Went That Away and That Away in 1978. He had also overcome a drinking problem earlier in his life, a struggle that would later become public knowledge during his political campaigns, adding another layer of resilience to a career already defined by reinvention. That reinvention took a dramatic turn in 1988 when Jones ran for Congress in Georgia's 4th Congressional District and won by 20 points. He went on to serve 2 terms as a Democrat in the U.S. House of Representatives, from 1989 to 1993, trading Hazzard County for Washington and proving his appeal reached far beyond the small screen. In a strange bit of life imitating art, his real political path was later echoed on screen when the 1997 television movie The Dukes of Hazzard, Reunion, revealed that his character Cooter had also become a congressman, a wink to the life Jones himself had built. He attempted a political comeback in 2002 while living in Virginia, running against a young Eric Cantor and losing, though pundits would later note that a sharply worded letter Jones wrote about his former opponent may have helped fuel Cantor's stunning primary defeat 12 years afterward. Beyond acting and politics, Jones and Alma became beloved fixtures in the world of Dukes of Hazzard fandom through Cooter's Place, a chain of themed museums and stores the couple built together in Nashville, Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and Luray, Virginia. The shops became pilgrimage sites for generations of fans eager to relive the show's heyday and meet the man behind Cooter in person, and Jones remained an active, visible presence at these locations for years, often greeting fans alongside Alma and keeping the spirit of the series alive long after it left the air. Tributes poured in quickly following news of his death. Former co-star Tom Wopat, who played Luke Duke, remembered Jones as a devoted friend and a passionate advocate for the best qualities the entertainment industry has to offer, adding that while the late Denver Pyle used to joke he wasn't really his uncle, it still felt like the cast had lost one of their own. That sentiment echoed across the Dukes of Hazzard community, which had already said goodbye to castmate Rick Hurst, who played Deputy Cletus Hogg just over a year earlier. No public memorial services have been announced at this time. Ben Jones leaves behind his wife Alma and a legacy defined by versatility and warmth, a man equally at home fixing cars in a fictional Georgia county as he was serving the real state of Georgia in Congress, remembered now most powerfully through the touching words of the woman who loved him most.